If you're saving just for the sake of saving long term and your plan is to continue doing so for decades, that right there is a guaranteed losing game. So if you think about it, that's not even a risk. That's a guaranteed loss. Make sure to subscribe for a bunch of videos. Subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for bonus videos. Get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel. Try out some G Fuel energy formula, $5 off your first order by clicking the link in the description. And of course, make sure to go and get your up to 12 free fractional shares by downloading Webull and funding your account any amount. And if you refer 3 friends by August 2nd, they're going to give you a spin on the Webull wheel, which can win you all the way up to $1,000 of free Apple stock. Webull link in the description. See, people like to say, oh, if you save your money, you're obviously not going to lose your money. You can only lose your money if you invest your money. If the investment doesn't go the way you want it to go, you'll lose your money. So save your money instead. Here's the problem with that. If you save your money, your currency, your dollars, and you put them somewhere, I don't care if you hide them under your bed. I don't care if you put them in a savings account. I don't care if you lock them up in a safe. I don't care if you bury it in the backyard. I don't care where you put them. But if you hold on to them, you are losing money. Maybe not a dollar amount. If you stick a $100 bill under your bed, 100 years from now, it will still be a $100 bill. It's not going to mysteriously turn into a $50 bill. Sure. But the purchasing power diminishes over time, as it's been for decades and decades and decades, due to inflation. Now, a lot of people, they think inflation is such a terrible, horrible thing. It's actually not. Inflation's only a problem when the economy is not growing at an equal or greater pace or an equal or greater rate than inflation. Like if the economy's on a standstill and inflation's on the rise, that's a bad thing. But if inflation's on the rise and the economy's growing, the economy's booming, it's not a problem. Average inflation is not a problem, 2 to 2.5%. But regardless of how the economy is doing, saving your money is always a losing game, because even on a good year where inflation is low, 2.5%, you're losing 2 to 2.5% of your currency if it's saved. So no matter what, it doesn't matter what the economy's doing. The economy could be in shambles. The economy could be on a standstill. It could be retracting, or it could be exploding. People making more money than they've ever made before in their lives. Everything's going up. Stock market's going up. Houses are going up. Businesses are thriving. Massive corporations are still doing great. Small businesses are growing. Everybody's getting pay raises. Everything's going right. Saving currency is still a losing game. Because no matter what, there will be inflation. Now, like I said, inflation's not a problem if the economy is growing, but inflation will always be a problem to those saving their money. Because no matter what, even when inflation's low, you're still losing purchasing power. People say, like, how is that, how is inflation a good thing? Like I said before, it's a good thing if the economy is growing. It's a good thing if business is booming. It's a good thing if you're growing alongside the economy as well. Because it doesn't matter if 2% of your purchasing power gets taken away every year if your earnings are growing by 2% or more every year. That's what's supposed to be happening. So if you ask me, I think the greatest risk of all is saving currency long term. Now, if you have a savings account or if you're saving up for a large purchase, that's one thing. That's short-term saving. You're saving up for something and then you're going to spend those dollars on whatever it is that you're going to buy. Maybe it's a house, maybe it's a car, maybe you're saving up to start a business. Whatever it is you're saving up for. You're saving up for a purchase, that's one thing. If you're saving just for the sake of saving long term and your plan is to continue doing so for decades, that right there is a guaranteed losing game. So if you think about it, that's not even a risk. That's a guaranteed loss. That's guaranteeing to set yourself up for failure. You will never, ever, ever come out on top that way. It's not possible. It's never, ever been done. But that's why we're told to do things the quote-unquote safe way. Oh, there's no risk. Save your currency. Save it for a rainy day. Save it forever. Save all of it forever. And do what? Die with a savings account with $1 million in it that can only buy you like $30,000 worth of stuff? What's the point of that? What's the point of $1 million when a loaf of bread is like 15 bucks? That makes no sense to me. That right there is a losing game. What good is $1 million if a little 2-bedroom house in the middle of nowhere is going for $900,000? Like that right there is a losing game. Save it for what? Save it why? When the purchasing power is guaranteed to go down. The dollars in your savings account, like, yeah, sure, you can, oh yeah, but the interest rates, yeah, I have a savings account too, and yes, I'm riding the high yield wave while I'm deciding how I want to invest those dollars. But that's not for the long term. I'm saving up for an investment. I just don't know what the investment is just yet. And I've only had the account open like this year. It's not something I'm doing for the long term. Interest rates are still high right now, so yeah, I'm riding the high yield wave while I'm deciding how I want to invest the dollars. That's not something I'm going to be doing for 20 years. It's probably not even something that I'm going to be doing for 20 months. Hasn't even been 12 months. I don't even know if it's been 6. It's probably been about 6. But anyway, imagine doing things the conventional way. Imagine doing things the way that we were, told to do things. Do it the safe way. Be safe. Safe doesn't really, make sense when you realize that safe is actually the biggest risk of all. Not even a risk. The word risk implies that there's a chance of a reward. What's the chance of a reward in saving currency? Objectively speaking, honestly speaking, what is it? There is none. That's not being biased. That's being objective. There is no upside. You're guaranteed to lose purchasing power. So why do that? Make sure to subscribe for a bunch of videos. Subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for bonus videos. Get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel. Try out some G Fuel energy formula, $5 off your first order by clicking the link in the description. And of course, make sure to go and get your up to 12 free fractional shares by downloading Webull and funding your account any amount. And if you refer 3 friends by August 2nd, they're going to give you a spin on the Webull wheel, which can win you all the way up to $1,000 of free Apple stock. Webull link in the description.